El mercado laboral en Estados Unidos, amigos, no cede. La verdad es que la situación cada vez está peor. Imaginémonos cómo eso puede afectarnos al resto del mundo. Y así que les traigo en esta ocasión clips de gente, gringos de a pie, como yo les digo, americanos de a pie, de carne y hueso, que están sufriendo las consecuencias de un mercado laboral que cada vez paga menos, que cada vez te entrevistan menos. De hecho, se han reportado casos en los que ni siquiera te entrevistan personas, sino te entrevistan bots de AI. Así la situación en Estados Unidos, amigos, ante la pérdida de empleo, ante la inflación, así es como se la está viendo la población.
So they're saying it takes 9 to 12 months, maybe even longer, to get a job in this market. And that's, to me, that's one of the most tone-deaf statements that I hear career coaches say. Because if you're anything like I was when I got laid off, you don't have 3 months. Look, your bills don't quit just because you get laid off. Your expenses don't quit. Your kids still have to eat. You got to keep the lights on. You got to do all these things. So to sit there and say, just buckle up and get ready, be prepared, be patient, is the most nonsense crap I've ever seen.
I need you to understand one thing. If Amazon can cut 14,000 jobs 62 days before Christmas, what makes you think that your job would not cut you? What makes you think your job is safe? Because we are living in times where employers don't give a damn about you being a 3-time employee of the month, a 3-time employee of the year, how much brown nosing you do, how much overtime you work, how much sacrificing you did for the company, neglecting your family. They don't care, guys. These jobs only care about the income that they can make for the company. And they're going to pay you as less as possible, but work to get the most out of you to accomplish that. And if they have to cut you to meet those numbers, those analytics, then guess what? Get ready, because they're going to treat you like trash going out on a Friday. Being somebody who know, because that's what happened to me at my job. But not only that, guys, 84 million people are supposed to lose their jobs in 2025 thanks to layoffs and firings. And this should be a clear sign to you that if the big tech companies can lay off people who are making hundreds and $200 an hour, what do you think they'll do for you making $15 to $20 an hour?
How do I explain to my parents that no one is hiring anymore? The job market is not like it was when they got out of college. A degree does not mean you can get a job now. I cannot even tell you how many jobs I have been applying for. And I'm a real estate agent, so they're not paying me a salary. I still can't get hired. Tried everything, and then my friend showed me this hack that saves so much time. And just swipe, apply, apply, apply.
I have literally applied to 3,000 jobs at this point. Actually, 3,000 jobs. So let me tell you this. If you have a job right now, do everything that you can to keep it. If you need to cry, cry on your break. If you need to cheat at work, use your phone to take meeting notes for you. Suck up to your manager to stay on their good side. Literally go for it. Because trust me, this job hunt is going to take me out.
And another thing, because this gets me heated, unless you've been on a job search in the last 2 years, you do not know how bad it is out here. The job market is trash. Basura, it's been bad. I'm talking about applying to 20 jobs a day, reaching out to recruiters, doing this on LinkedIn, and hearing crickets. People are trying. People are not lazy. And then people who have a job give the most useless advice, like, why don't you tailor your resume to every single job? You don't think that I've done that? Unless your job is hiring and you have a referral, zip it.
I am literally crashing the out because I know everyone says finding a job right now is so hard, but I've been trying to find a marketing job for so long now, and it's actually the most difficult thing ever. Like, I didn't expect it to be as hard as people actually said it was, but it is. Like, it's literally a loop of just like hopelessness. Like, it's just over and over and over. Every time you think you're close, you're actually not.
The job market is so bad right now that I'm fully convinced the only way that you're going to make money and be financially stable right now and in a career path that you don't absolutely hate is by starting your own business. And the idea sounds more and more enticing to me every day when I watch these videos of recruiters talk about how they have over 600 applicants for a work from home position.
Let me tell you how bad the job market is right now. I got laid off about 36 days ago. Probably 200 applications in. Out of that, probably 25 rejection letters. Signed up at Walmart for a job. Signed at the local Publix, my grocery store, for a job. No interviews, no contacts. Out of all the applications I put in, I've had 2 interviews. Been ghosted probably 15 times. Then I decided, well, you know what? I'll do DoorDash. Went to do DoorDash. Couldn't get on in the area. Your zone is full. Can't even do DoorDash. That's how bad it is. I've been aged out 36 days. This is the longest I've ever been without a job ever in my life. 23 years in the military, master's degree, bachelor's, tons of experience. Can't find anything.
I'm a recruiter and I work in the life sciences industry. I posted a position yesterday on LinkedIn for a data scientist role. The role's remote. It filters out anyone that doesn't live in the US. Has knockout questions for people just to make sure that they meet the qualifications for the role. So active applications, I log in today, over 600. Taking a look through all of the applications, every single person is qualified. I have to go through and reject over 600 people for a job that these people probably well deserve because our market is crashing. I've never seen anything like this in the 11 years that I've been recruiting. The job market is awful right now.
I got a job offer for a place, a tanning salon, a managerial position, right? Required my bachelor's degree. I was like, yeah, of course, this is good. I'll be working with, different environment. I like, makeup, blah, blah, blah. $14 an hour. $14 an hour. What? I wouldn't have been able to fucking eat with $14 an hour. Like, it required my bachelor's degree. I went to the interview. I almost took the job, honestly. But I didn't. I said I would rather be unemployed. I mean, that's just ridiculous. And this is a tanning salon that is very well known. I'm pretty sure it's in every state. It is so baffling that they're paying their people like that. Especially how overpriced their shit is.
So I just came out of the City of Burbank Job Fair and Media Expo where there were no jobs available. It was about 2,000 people, including me, holding resumes, and a bunch of tents of people, I guess, promoting their businesses, I guess, and no one was hiring at all, including the company that just laid me off. There were about 100 people in line to talk to them, and then there was just like a lady from their thing like, if you're trying to drop off a resume, just go online, it's all online. I talked to a lady from the Burbank Library. She's like, we're here to answer questions about the library. And I was like, okay, are you guys hiring? And she was like, I don't know, go online. Anyway, it was awful and demoralizing, but I did it. I give it a try. I can say I tried. Do better, City of Burbank. There are a lot of people out there looking for jobs right now, and I think I was not the only one who expected there to be some people hiring at the job fair.
I'm to the point, I miss the days when you had to just go into a physical location, fill out an application, and you had one interview, you sat down, you talked to the freaking owner of the business, and at the end of it, you were offered a job or you were told no. I mean, I miss those days. Why in the flying fuck do we have, why is it the way that it is today? I mean, the 2 interviews and the questions that are asked, my goodness, I have never been asked such stupid ass questions in my entire life. The lady literally asked me, are you kind? What the fuck? How does, like, what the fuck? How does, I don't understand. I'm going crazy. Like, are you guys hiring or not? Just, it's that simple. I'm fed the fuck up. I'm fed the fuck up, and I know I cannot be the only one fed the fuck up with the job market and how things are operating today. It's just.
Reportan 1000 tipos de problemas, han aplicado miles de trabajos. En fin, la situación no pinta que vaya a mejorar pronto. Es más, al contrario, parece que esto apenas es el inicio de todo lo que se viene, porque dicen ya los expertos que para 2026 todo va a estar incluso más difícil. 2027, Amazon ha anunciado miles de despidos por ahora. Se han perdido más de 1.1 millón de empleos este año.
You guys, the job market is literally insane right now because I have used every single connection I have made since starting my professional career, even like college connections. I have messaged every single person that I can possibly think of. I've emailed recruiters that I've talked to years ago about jobs at like previous companies that I was interviewing for. I've even cold emailed recruiters that I found like on LinkedIn, and I'm like, I don't know what is going on here, but I can't even get like an initial interview and I'll be extremely qualified for the job or even overqualified for the job. And I'm like that desperate. I'm just like, I think people are preying on the fact that we're all that desperate. I don't know what to do. Every time I apply for something, I make sure my resume is fully tailored to that job. I make sure there's keywords in there that match the job description perfectly. And I literally, even I'll have like initial phone calls with people and they'll be like, don't worry, like if we proceed or don't proceed, we'll let you know otherwise. We won't ghost you. They've all ghosted me. I'm like, don't even tell me that. And then another company I was interviewing for, it was like an initial HR interview. She was like, oh my God, I'm so excited to get you in front of the team, yada, yada. And I followed up with her like a week later when she said she would get back to me. And when I emailed her a couple hours later, I got an automated response saying they are moving forward with other candidates that are more like the experience is more closely aligned to what they're looking for. I'm like, what are you looking for then? How are people finding jobs unless they're taking jobs that have crap pay and are just sticking it out and have multiple jobs? I don't know.
I got laid off from my corporate job yesterday. And I think that this is the reality for a lot of Americans right now, and it needs to be shared because America is not doing well right now. We have a 94% prediction rate that the recession is going to come, but yet our frickin' administration hasn't even made the move to actually say that a recession is coming. And let's actually call it what it is, a depression. People can't afford groceries, they can't afford rent, they can't afford buying houses, they can't afford having babies, they can't afford having the kids in general if they already have them. We are not in a good spot, y'all. I know that I'm just a number in a company, but I thought I was okay. You're going to think that you're okay because you've worked there for so long or you have the right experience. Like, you guys, I have an undergraduate in marketing, a master's in business, 6 years of paid social media experience, both on a strategist and manager level. I have done people management for at least 3 years. I'm a senior level in my career. And yet, when I was hired to do a senior level role, I was forced into entry level positions. I was doing entry level work as a senior level strategist, all while at the same time being asked to reduce my workload with AI. And our team was having layoffs every like 3 months. I should have seen it coming. I really should have. But the thing is that it was not something that I saw coming. Because the day before that they laid me off, I was literally talking coverage plans with another employee who was going on leave for like months. How am I supposed to sit there and not think that I'm safe in that moment? I just think it's absolutely ridiculous that we live in a world like this where like my manager wasn't even the one that fired me, by the way, or laid me off. It was freaking HR. And they read off a script. But my whole team got laid off. And this is the reality for a lot of Americans right now. My partner is a first responder, so I'm very lucky for the fact that I can be leaning on him for support right now, because luckily his job is secure, thanks to the fact that number one, his job is essential, and number two, he has a union behind him. What I will never understand is why corporate agencies have not unionized. We're not allowed, right? We're not allowed. That's part of it. We'll get fired because at least in this corporate world, they're always going to side on the side of business because that's what's making the government money. This world right now is not supporting people. It is supporting business. You are just a number, unfortunately. So please, prepare yourself for shit like this. I wish I would have. I wish I'd been applying to other jobs months ago. I just was so dumb to not realize the signs. I want to talk about it. I think people need to talk about it. I think we need to make this more public. We all saw the jobs report. It was awful. Getting laid off on the day that the jobs report goes out, and it's 22,000 instead of 75,000 new jobs. You know how discouraging that is?
News came out today that there are more unemployed people in America than there are job offerings or job openings. So we are inherently cooked. I know for myself that I've already been applying for jobs, and I've applied for over 1,000 jobs already in the last few months. I've had interviews that have led to nowhere. I have a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, and a technical degree, and I still can't get or break into the tech world, which is in shambles right now. But I know that it has to be more than just like, oh, like I'm making a career switch and I'm just like not like, I don't have a lot of experience under my belt when it comes to tech, right? It has to be a little bit more than that. And I honestly do believe that something is brewing, something is going to happen quickly. If you have a job, which I do right now, I'm very thankful. Keep your job, stay in your job. You can look for other jobs, but don't ever quit your job, because it's awful out here.
I am unemployed, and we had some savings. I had some severance to hold us over for a few months, and that is running out. I have been interviewing. I've been applying for jobs. Like, it is literally my part-time job right now to find a job. I've had interviews. I haven't had any offers. Certainly not any offers for remote work. I've had interviews for in-person work, but they pay significantly lower. Like the places where I live, where I have to go to work, they don't pay well. At least they don't pay what remote work will pay. But here's what I am doing. I am opening up my classes on VIP Kid because I used to teach English to kids in China. I'm continuing to apply. I'm continuing to go through with interviews, whether they're in person or they're virtual.
What do you think about the mass extinction event that's happening in the jobs market, mostly because of AI? How is it affecting your life? Well, I can tell you that it's certainly affecting, or it seems to be affecting, everyone's life if you're Gen Z, even millennial, and possibly even Gen X. And our government is not doing anything about it. They're sitting on the sidelines while these billionaires and these giant corporations develop a technology, and there's no thought on how this is going to affect our society. And you might think, why isn't government doing anything about it? Well, it's obvious, right? Its government is completely corrupted by corporations, billionaires, and special interests.
Just got off the phone with an old friend of mine who's way smarter than me. And I don't think anyone realizes where we are in the world right now as a society. We are creating something for the first time in human history that is more intelligent than us. We are creating something that requires more energy than we have. I don't want to sound like a doomsdayer, but my God. I have 2 young children. I don't know what to tell them. I don't know what to tell them. I don't think anyone knows what's coming. It's not gonna be good.
On Tuesday with the hiring manager. Before that, I had an interview with the recruiter, and she told me we had hundreds of applicants. You were the resume that we saw, and we were like, we absolutely need to talk to her. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. She's like, we were talking about my background and everything. She goes, he is totally gonna want to talk to you. Whatever, we move on. I talked to the hiring manager. That was on a Friday. I talked to the hiring manager the next week on a Tuesday, which was last Tuesday. I'm talking to him. The interview's going really well. I'm like explaining my background because he is coming from a completely different area in tech. And so he doesn't really understand what I've been doing in AI, but now he's running this AI department. So he's really trying to understand. I'm explaining everything. The interview goes really well. I ask at the end, I'm like, is there anything that you heard me discuss today or from my resume that you think makes me not able to do this job? And he was like, well, the only thing was when I saw your resume, I was worried about your leadership experience because this is a lead position. And he goes, but we have more than covered that. Like, I know you're a senior editor who runs a group of 15. Like, I totally understand your leadership experience. Like, we're all good on that. Like, it works. Okay. And then he also, and it was like, once I saw your resume, like you were the person that I wanted to talk to. I'm like, we need to get her in here, all this stuff, like telling me like how I am perfect for this role. And so then he says, next steps, I really want you to talk to these other people. I want you to see the AI platform so you can understand what you're gonna be working on. Just make sure you're comfortable with it and like you got it. He was asking me about how I would interview other candidates like under me for the role and stuff like that. And then he's like, okay, so you mentioned an edit test for those people. I think maybe I'd want to set up an edit test too for this. I go, oh, awesome, yeah, like great. Stealing my idea, first of all, second of all, whatever. And so then, literally, this man is telling me, I am the top candidate for this position. We're setting up an interview. That was on Tuesday. I sent him a thank you note on Tuesday. Sent him a thank you note. Talked to the hiring, or messaged the hiring, or the recruiter, and I was like, hey, like this interview went really well. Let me know what the next steps in the process are when they come up, basically. That was Tuesday. We don't hear anything on Friday. So on Friday, I'm starting to worry. I'm like, I haven't heard anything all week. I'm kind of like nervous. I'm like gaslighting myself. I'm like, did he actually like say all those things or did I make them up in my head and like black out and like I'm lying to myself because I have OCD. So I was like tweaking a little bit. And I'm like, no, he fucking verbatim said these words to me. Like he wants to set up the next interview, all this stuff. So today I'm taking my dog home from the dog park, get a message. Sunday, 4:14 p.m. Mind you, this man's on Pacific time, I'm on Central. So this is 2:14 p.m. He's obviously catching up on emails. He goes, hi, Blake. Let me read it verbatim. This is what it says. Hi, Blake. Thanks for contacting me and connecting earlier last week. We are progressing our interviews with candidates for the role and we'll be in touch. Okay. You literally told me I was getting a 3rd round interview. So I'm confused what's going on here because that is very clearly a no. It's also not like the tone he was using with me. So I'm like, I don't really know what happened. I guess I'm just like really confused. Like, how did I go from being your top candidate and getting a 3rd round interview to you're not even in the running anymore? And maybe I'm overanalyzing, but I don't really think I am. I talked to multiple people in my life and they're like, no, that's not a good sign.
No sabemos cómo vayan a seguir las cosas, amigos, y esto trae consecuencias para el resto del mundo. Así que, pues, a tener paciencia, a hacer un poco de conciencia y a reajustar la forma de vivir para los norteamericanos y para el resto del mundo, porque este sistema de ese tipo de trabajos ya no da para más. Así que déjame tú en los comentarios cómo te está yendo con esta crisis laboral, si tienes familiares en Estados Unidos. Yo tengo familiares en Estados Unidos que están viviendo paycheck to paycheck o from paycheck to paycheck, como dicen ellos. Entonces la situación no pinta nada bien, las cosas no parece que vayan a bajar de precio y, en fin, los impuestos cada vez están más difíciles de pagar también. Entonces, bueno, veremos cómo se desarrolla esto, pero bueno, que Dios te bendiga y cuídate mucho. Déjame en los comentarios cómo te está yendo con esta situación.